Hello everyone, welcome to the session number 2 of the same chapter, that is chapter number 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In the previous session we studied flower. Flower consists of calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx and corolla is said to be non-essential whorls, and then androecium and gynoecium is said to be essential whorls. We studied androecium. It is the third whorl of a flower, consists of male reproductive units are said to be stamen. Each stamen consists of anther, connective and filament. When we take the transverse section of the dithecous anther, we can see there is a presence of 4 microsporangia. Inside the microsporangia, there will be a development of pollen grains, that is said to be microsporogenesis. And then microspore finally organizes into pollen grain. Now, in this session, we are going to study gynoecium. It is an innermost whorl of a flower. It is an innermost whorl of a flower, consists of female reproductive units are said to be carpels. So, parts of a carpel, each carpel consists of 3 parts. Here this is the thalamus, and each carpel consists of 3 parts, and the basal box like structure, this is said to be ovary. So, inside the ovary there is a presence of a fertile tissue. That fertile tissue is said to be placenta, to which there will be an attachment of oval shape of structures. These are said to be ovules. So, inside the ovary there is a presence of a fertile tissue. That fertile tissue is said to be placenta, to which the ovules are attached. And then elongated part, this is said to be style, and the terminal flattened sticky part, sticky part is said to be stigma. So, totally carpel consists of box-like structure, that is said to be ovary, which contains ovules, and an elongated stalk-like region, that is the style, and the terminal flattened sticky part, that is said to be stigmatic surface or stigma. So, the number of ovules inside the ovary always varies. It may be 1 to many. Now, coming to the types of gynoecium. If the gynoecium is made up of only one carpel, that is said to be monocarpellary. As the name itself indicates here, presence of only one carpel, therefore it is said to be monocarpellary. It is seen in Crotalaria. Baswan pada anta heltivi idakke, Crotalaria. Then if the gynoecium is made up of 2 carpel, then it is said to be bicarpellary. Best example is tomato. If the gynoecium made up of 3 carpels, then it is tricarpellary. Coconut. If the gynoecium made up of 4 carpel, then it is said to be tetracarpellary. It is seen in mimosa. Touch me not anta heltivi, that is nothing but Mimosa pudica. If the gynoecium is made up of 5 carpel, then it is said to be pentacarpellary. Hibiscus. If the gynoecium is made up of more than 5 carpels, then it is said to be multicarpellary or polycarpellary. Citrus. So, the gynoecium is made up of only 1 carpel mono, 2 by 3 tricarpellary, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, and more than 5 is said to be multi or polycarpellary. If the gynoecium made up of many carpels and the carpels which are fused, then it is said to be syncarpous. If the gynoecium is made up of many carpels and all the carpels which are fused, then it is said to be syncarpous, and the best example is hibiscus. If the gynoecium is made up of many carpels and the carpels which are free from one another, then it is said to be apocarpous. Carpels which are fused, then it is said to be syncarpous. Best example is hibiscus. If the carpels which are free from one another, then it is said to be apocarpous. It is seen in Michaelia champaka, ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಹೂವು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. That is the best example for apocarpus. Carpels are the female reproductive structures. So the number of carpels together is said to be gynoecium, also known as pistil. Each carpel consists of ovary which contains ovules. Elongated part is the style, terminal part is said to be stigma. So there are different types of gynoecium based on the number of carpels, and if the carpels are fused, then it is syncarpous. If the carpels are free, then it is said to be apocarpous. Next, we will move on to structure of ovule or megasporangia. Ovules are the structures present inside the ovary. So, this is the ovule covered by, like this, two membranes. Here there is a presence of female gametophyte, and here presence of homogeneous tissue like this. So, coming to the structure of ovule or megasporangia, ovule, it is in the form of oval shape. Ovule has a stalk, this stalk that mainly helps in the attachment to the tissue that is said to be placenta inside the ovary. So, ovule has a stalk and this stalk is said to be funicle. It is a stalk that is said to be funicle, and then this part is the funicle and this is the ovule. The point of attachment of ovule to the funicle, this point is said to be hilum. And then this is the main mass of the tissue that is present in the ovule, and this main mass is said to be nucellus. Nucellus. Nucellus is covered by two layers, and these layers are said to be integuments. And these integuments do not cover the nucellus completely, so that it leaves a small passage or a gap, and this gap is said to be micropyle. And this is the main mass. This main mass is said to be nucellus, and the basal part of the nucellus, this is said to be chalaza. I repeat, ovule, it is in the form of oval shape, which has a stalk. That stalk is said to be funicle, and the point of attachment of ovule to the funicle is said to be hilum, and the main mass of tissue that is present within the ovule, that is said to be, what do you call, nucellus, and the nucellus is covered by two layers, and these two layers are said to be integuments, and these integuments do not cover the nucellus completely, so that it leaves a small passage or a gap, and this is said to be micropyle. And then with basal part of the nucellus is said to be chalaza. Now within the nucellus, towards the micropylar region, there is a presence of this structure, very important. This is said to be embryo sac, also known as female gametophyte. So this is the embryo sac that is present within the nucellus towards the micropylar region. Now coming to the parts of embryo sac. Embryo sac that is present towards the micropylar region, and it consists of three parts. Here this part is said to be egg apparatus. Egg apparatus are the group of three cells present towards the micropylar region. So group of three cells that is present towards the micropylar region is said to be egg apparatus. Out of these three, the center one is said to be egg cell, and these two cells are said to be synergids. So synergids and an egg cell together commonly said to be, what do you call, egg apparatus. Now coming to the next is, towards the basal part there is a presence of group of three cells, and these cells are said to be antipodals. And then in the center there is a presence of diploid nucleus. This is said to be secondary nucleus. So structure of embryo sac or female gametophyte, which consists of three parts. First is the egg apparatus, group of three cells present towards the micropylar region, and then a group of three cells that is present towards the chalaza, that is said to be antipodals, and then in the center there is a presence of diploid nucleus. This is said to be secondary nucleus. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cell and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. This is said to be diploid in condition. Therefore, 7 celled and 8 nucleated condition in angiosperm. Very, very important. So why this is said to be 7 celled? Because there is a presence of 7 cells. One here, egg apparatus which consists of 3, antipodals consist of 3, and in the center presence of secondary nucleus. So totally it becomes 7 cell, but it contains 8 nucleated condition. Here is 3, here is 3. In the center, there is a presence of secondary nucleus that is diploid in condition. So that it is said to be 8 nucleated stage. So this is about the structure of megasporangia. So ovule or the megasporangia that is present inside the ovary. It has a stalk, that stalk is said to be funicle, and the point of attachment of ovule to the funicle is said to be hilum, and the main mass of tissue that is said to be nucellus, and nucellus is covered by 2 layers, that is integuments, which leaves a small passage or a gap that is said to be micropyle, and the basal part of the nucellus is said to be chalaza, and within the nucellus towards the micropylar region there will be a development of female gametophyte, also known as embryo sac, which consists of 3 regions: egg apparatus, that is the group of 3 cells present towards the micropylar region. Out of these 3, one is said to be egg cell. On either side of the egg cell, there is a presence of 2 supportive cells are said to be synergids. And towards the chalaza, there is a presence of group of 3 cells are said to be antipodals. In the center, there is a presence of secondary nucleus which is diploid in condition, so that the female gametophyte or the embryo sac, which consists of 7 celled and 8 nucleated. This is about the structure of ovule. Next, we will move on to megasporogenesis. As the name itself indicates, synthesis of megaspores. So here, just now we understood there is a presence of a main mass of nutritive tissue in the ovule, that is nothing but nucellus. So, within the nucellus, only one cell that is present towards the micropylar region that acts as a megaspore mother cell. So, what is meant by megaspore mother cell? Only one cell that is present towards the micropylar region within the nucellus now act as megaspore mother cell, which undergoes meiosis. There will be a formation of like this 4 cells. 3 are very small and 1 is the larger one. And these cells are said to be megaspores. Out of these 4, the upper 3 or the smaller one degenerates, and only one larger one, that is said to be megaspore. This process is said to be, what do you call? Megasporogenesis. So now within the nucellus towards the micropylar region, only one cell now act as a megaspore mother cell, which undergoes meiotic division that results in the formation of 4 cells. Out of these 4, the upper 3, smaller one degenerates and the larger one now said to be megaspore. Now this megaspore finally undergoes mitotic division. This results in the formation of embryo sac. So that development of embryo sac from single megaspore Development of embryo sac from single megaspore is said to be monosporic development. So what is meant by monosporic development? It is nothing but there will be a formation or the development of embryo sac or female gametophyte from single megaspore, that is said to be monosporic development. Now we will move on to development of embryo sac. Just now we understood how there will be a formation of megaspore. So the synthesis of megaspore from megaspore mother cell is said to be megasporogenesis. Now this megaspore undergoes mitotic division. There will be a formation of 2 nuclei. Again there will be one more mitotic division takes place, that results in the formation of 4. Again there will be a formation of upper 4 and basal 4 like this. I repeat, this is the megaspore. Now this megaspore undergoes sequential mitotic division, sequential free nuclear mitotic divisions. So first there will be a division of nucleus takes place, then which is followed by the division of cytoplasm. But in this case what happens? This megaspore continuously undergoes mitotic division, therefore it is said to be sequential mitotic division. Then it is said to be free nuclear mitotic division. That means without the division of cytoplasm. As a result of this, what happens? First there will be a formation of 2 nuclei, then there will be a formation of 4, then there will be a formation of 8. So this megaspore that undergoes sequential free nuclear mitotic division, that results in the formation of 8 nuclei. Now what happens? This 8 nuclei finally organizes into embryo sac. Now here upper 3 nuclei now organizes like this to form egg apparatus towards the micropylar region, and then the basal 3 nuclei organizes into 3 antipodals towards the chalaza. So here these 3 now organizes into antipodals, these 3 now organizes into egg apparatus. So the remaining 2 nuclei, that is nothing but the 2 polar nuclei, now comes in the center, and this is said to be diploid in nature, and this is said to be secondary nucleus. So here this megaspore that undergoes sequential free nuclear division takes place, mitotic division takes place, results in the formation of upper 4 nuclei, basal 4 nuclei, and the upper 3 nuclei organizes into, this is said to be egg apparatus, and the basal 3 nuclei organizes into antipodals, and the 2 nuclei, polar nuclei, comes in the center and fuse to form secondary nucleus. This is about the development of embryo sac. So first is the megasporogenesis, synthesis of megaspore from the megaspore mother cell, that is within the nucellus towards the micropylar region. there is a presence of only one cell that act as a megaspore mother cell, which undergoes meiotic division, results in the formation of 4 cells. Out of these 4, the upper 3 are smaller cells, and these cells degenerates, and the larger one is said to be megaspore, and this megaspore now undergoes sequential mitotic free nuclear division, results in the formation of upper 4 and basal 4 nuclei. These 8 nuclei now finally organizes into embryo sac, so that embryo sac, which contains upper 3 cells, are said to be egg apparatus, which consist of only 1 egg cell and then 2 synergates, and towards the chalaza there is a presence of a group of 3 cells. These are said to be antipodals, and from the polar side, the 2 nuclei now comes in the center and fuse to form secondary nucleus, which is diploid in nature. So, this is about the gynoecium. So, gynoecium consists of a female reproductive structures are said to be carpels. Each carpel consists of ovary, which contains ovule and elongated style and the terminal stigma. And if the gynoecium is made up of many carpels and all the carpels which are fused, then it is said to be syncarpus. If the carpels are free, then it is said to be apocarpus. So, when we take the transverse section of the ovary, we can see there is a presence of number of chambers or the locules. Those locules indicates the number of carpels which are fused. Next is the structure of ovule or megasporangia. It is in the form of oval shape with the stalk that is said to be funicle, to which it is attached to the fertile tissue that is said to be placenta, and then the ovule consists of main mass of tissue that is said to be nucellus, covered by 2 integuments. It leaves a gap that is said to be micropyle, and towards the micropylar region within the nucellus there will be a development of embryo sac. And embryo sac consists of egg apparatus, antipodals, and then secondary nucleus. So, within the nucellus towards the micropylar region, there is only one cell act as a megaspore mother cell, which undergoes meiotic division, results in the formation of 4 cells, 3 degenerates, larger one is said to be megaspore. This megaspore finally gives rise to embryo sac, so that the development of embryo sac from single megaspore, then it is said to be monosporic development, so that this megaspore now undergoes sequential mitotic free nuclear division that results in the formation of 8 nuclei. Finally, there will be a division of cytoplasm takes place, or it organizes into embryo sac, which consists of egg apparatus present towards the micropylar region, antipodals present towards the chalazal region. In the center, there is a presence of 2 polar nuclei that fused to form secondary nucleus, which is diploid in nature. So, this is about the gynoecium. I hope you understood this session. Thank you.